Hello, welcome to ChaoticNerdtral. On this, our maiden voyage into podcasting. We're all officially podcasters now. We're going to talk on our very first episode about Studio Ghibli films. But first, we should probably introduce ourselves. Sam, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Sam, aka Shamanfra, aka Dictator Sam, aka Bitch Chan. I have many names. I'm a political scientist. It's a fun fact that I became a political scientist because I'm obsessed with Gundam. So in my little teenage years,
that is the nerdiest reason to be a political scientist.
That's what I always tell my students. I'm like, I became a political scientist because Gundam, and you're just gonna have to deal with that fact. So, but I'm here for fun times, and we're gonna have a good time with the ladies, arguing about nerdy things as we usually do. Might as well record it.
Hello, my name is Jenny. In real life, I'm a nurse. I enjoy sticking tubes into people. It's a fun time. I'm really good at it.
That makes you sound like a serial killer.
I mean, you know.
Most likely to be a serial killer, Jenny.
Okay, so I guess I'll talk about like kind of what nerd shit I'm going to be bringing into this podcast. So what you will probably find out right away is I have an extremely huge Star Trek obsession. I will bring it up a lot. I mean, Star Trek is life for me. I'm a massive Trekkie. Also, you need to know is you do not diss Deep Space Nine in my presence, or I will come at you.
Deep Dick Nine.
So, just an FYI. The other thing is I have a super huge obsession with old point-and-click adventure games, especially Monkey Island. And if I know that you have played Monkey Island and love it, you are automatically my best friend. But so I have a lot of weird nerd shit that I'm going to be bringing in that, I don't know, maybe others don't have. So it's going to be a fun mix. We all have kind of like our different weird nerd shit. So I'm excited.
Hi, I'm Jessica, Jamboree Jess all over the internet. I'm a mom and a machinist by day and a Dungeons and Dragons and anime nerd by night. I cosplay, but not this past pandemic year.
So sad. Poor one
best
out.
year ever.
Rip.
We just dress up and take photos of ourselves for fun.
Yeah.
Super cute, by the way.
We're normal.
I think we should tell our audience like one super nerd thing about us, that we all tried to quarantine for 2 weeks so we could do our own Renaissance fair in my backyard for your birthday. That's how nerdy we are.
That's true. We did do that.
And we all cried when it did not work out.
Yes.
Yep. Sure
Because
did.
everything is horrible. But so just so you know, yes.
I'm Shayna. I'm an accountant. It's my muggle job. But honestly, it's kind of weird being able to be an open nerd. I'm still kind of getting used to it. I was actually a closet nerd until I was about 22. I had my first brush with anything kind of super nerdy when I was young, watching like Toonami with Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yes.
The golden days.
Yes.
Oh, big O.
Yes.
Big O.
All of those. And
Wow,
it took me
memories.
maybe like a week to realize, like, yeah, growing up in Southern California, like my friends would roast me alive. So I didn't talk about any of it out loud. And it wasn't until I met my husband and moved here and met you guys that I even started exploring new stuff. And you guys have introduced me to so much different stuff in the culture. I'm still learning crap every day and I love it. So I'm super excited to do this and to talk about all the things.
Yay. Into our little coven of
Yes.
middle-aged lady nerds for middle-aged now.
I know.
Middle-aged?
Yes.
I don't like that we're old.
We're just going to die when we're 60.
She's actually middle-aged. Don't listen to her.
We're not middle-aged and we're cute. So
Cute.
I'm Sarah. I'm a big book nerd. I work in the boat biz. And my favorite Pokemon is Snorlax.
he's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to.
I would
be a
just like to
Snorlax.
sleep on him.
You need that
You
big
know?
bed. Yeah, the big
Oh,
Snorlax bed.
God, man, I wish I could live on it. If Pokemon were real, I would just be a Snorlax trainer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No one would probably come over to my house because I would have all ghost Pokemon. People like, don't go over there. It's terrifying.
You're only strengthening my serial killer case against
I
you.
know. It's true.
For all of my victims, I mean Pokemon.
So should I bring up our first debate that we had over how to say Ghibli?
Oh, yeah.
We were discussing our first topic, and we all talked about how much we wanted to
Not look stupid.
Yes.
Attempt.
It's gonna be hard.
Let's talk about Studio Ghibli. Ghibli?
Ghibli?
Jubilee?
Ghibli, I have no idea. So offending your
Yeah,
ears.
if you don't like it said that way, sorry. Just do what you want to do. We're not
We
mad
YouTubed
about it.
Yes,
We did.
We did
5 seconds of research.
I had been saying it Ghibli my whole life. I'm gonna try not to say that.
It's 5. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah.
Ghibli.
It
You
was
do you.
Mr. Miyazaki's 80th birthday, like last
Yay!
year.
Happy birthday, Mr. Man.
Well, I'm glad he's alive.
Yeah, no, if
don't
2020
jinx it.
Don't say that nonsense. We're not off to a good start.
If these awful years take away
We are on
Miyazaki,
day 9 of awful. Like,
Don't
please.
bring it down, man.
Welcome to the new apocalypse, everyone. 2021.
No. We're gonna talk about positive things. We're gonna talk about the movies we love.
Okay.
It's gonna be all happy, positive, wonderful. This will be a safe place.
Okay, does anybody have a passionate favorite? Because I was tied between 2, no matter what I did.
My top 3 are all really.
No, I passionately love mine. So, favorite, Howl's Moving Castle.
Fair.
Without a doubt. So, so another nerdy aspect of my everything. When I was a child, books were my everything. It was my whole world. My siblings, 11 years older than me, I was an only child. So books were my imagination. Everything was my whole playing by myself thing.
So you had the novel.
Totally. I had the book first, and I read it, fell in love with it, reread it. That book is just toast. It's a paperback, and it's done.
The book was weird because it was
it was much different.
Mm-hmm. You could tell that there was a lot deeper lore than is in the movie. Just looking at the universe, you could tell that it's a big world.
Well, Sophie, one of her things is she could speak life into objects.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't translate to the Ghibli movie. And it kind of ties into how she, the ending, how she breaks Howl's contract with Calcifer at the end.
That's not clear in the movie, in my opinion.
It's not.
No, I was
what? You just accept it,
He just shoves his heart in. It's fine.
Beautiful.
And Howl's from the real world in the book, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. The thing with Ghibli films is they try to romanticize literally everything, going to the store, shopping and doing your chores,
childhood, finding yourself,
everything's an adventure, everything's magical. So I feel like you can pretty much accept anything when you're presented in that format. Okay, this is fine, everything's fine.
I've never wanted to clean in my whole life, but I could watch people clean.
Yeah.
If it's a Ghibli film, all day.
It's satisfying. Oh, look at all those cobwebs. Just.
Yeah, cleaning and cooking is gorgeous in Ghibli films.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just the scenery, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was also a tie for me. So that was my tie for top contender. And it's not even anything that great. I just simped hard for Howl. I just, when I was a kid, he was the hottest thing.
Dude,
and
that's one of my notes. Howl is hot.
So especially when he dyed his hair, because blonde,
yeah.
I'm not sure, but once it goes black, I'm oh yeah, okay.
He wanted to look pretty for the girls.
And he wasn't that perfect knight in shining armor. He had issues, and
he's one of those emo boys.
Yeah, and honestly, come on, what guy did you not like that? You know what I mean? They all had issues. And
he was kind of a brat, but
that was kind of dark and light. Yeah,
it was the whole crow thing too. I'm into that, teen angst.
This girl doesn't think I'm pretty. I'm gonna molt. Excuse me.
Yes.
No, and I also appreciated though how that film, it's not stereotypical pretty girl, right? She's an old lady, and normally I wouldn't be drawn to that sort of thing because I'm all about I'm shallow as hell. I'm all about the aesthetics. I want the character to be pretty, whatever. When I play a game, my character has to be pretty, or I'm not interested. So it's for me to like that, it was pretty unique, and I appreciate that they had a whole different spin on it. Well, it's very different.
And that's another thing with the book versus the movie is, in the book, how she looks is a reflection of how she feels on the inside. So like when she's passed out sleeping in the movie, she's young, and you're like, why?
See, in the movie, it's not clear.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's like
just kind of back and forth, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, I was like, so can he just see her, or like, why is she? But that does make sense.
It's because of how she feels.
That makes sense. He always knew, but yeah.
The society in the book, pretty much, she's the eldest daughter, and the eldest child, like, there's no way for you to know happiness. You're just going to be miserable. That's like the superstition behind it. So she's just kind of resigned herself to being like this cranky old lady. So, bam.
Which that's what made me fall in love with it, was the cranky old lady
part.
She gave no fucks. She's
so
just
cute.
like, whatever, shut up, stop complaining, this is what we're gonna do. And that's why I loved it so much, because so many of their films have this whiny main character that you just is like, ugh, and she's just like, what the fuck ever, this is what's happening, this happened to me, you know what, we're just gonna go with it. And
but can we talk about that chonk witch who reminds me of
oh my god, I love her.
Yeah.
And then just so much.
She does remind me of like how there's always like some big blobby old lady, but I do appreciate that she just became like nursing home.
I love her. Like
status.
Yes, that status, I want her on my couch all the time. I want to feed her soup.
Yeah, she just went from being like a huge bitch to just being sad.
Love it.
Like, to me, it wasn't sad. It was just, I think this is just the nurse inside of me. I was just like, oh, I'm going to take you home and take care of you and love you. So, I guess, yeah, it's weird.
She was nice. I would have left her to rot in her little pile on the ground.
And she was a lot more sinister in the book versus the movie. Like, she was a much more of a threat, and like the whole Prince Justin going missing thing had its
for like, you know, when she takes his heart or whatever.
Yeah, at the end,
Then it's kind of like, all right, lady, you're getting on my nerves, right?
Like, give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about the prince,
Yeah, that was like totally glossed over, I feel like, in the Ghibli film, because it was just like, oh, okay. Here's Sophie kissing yet another person and magic.
The war overall in the movie like left a lot to be desired, because I had never knew what the hell was going on.
So I don't know if I need to rewatch it, but I just watched it, but I didn't really understand
I just watched it again,
what was happening
and
with the
I didn't
war.
understand either.
Okay, good. Okay, because I'm, you know, when I watch movies, I'm also doing 800 things at once.
No, I didn't get it.
So I'm like, I must have missed something. So
like, I don't know who was attacking who, how the wizards were involved. It was not clear.
Shayna's got something to say about that.
Sure, Shayna knows.
The prince went missing. Kingdoms are at war. They're like tense already, but they're assuming it's like, you know, you remember The Princess Bride? How they're like, we're gonna make Gilliland think that the prince is missing here, and just like causing nonsense. And Hal is, you know, he's got a portal to all the realms in his house. He's Jenkins. He's Howl. He's everywhere.
Pendragon.
Both sides want him fighting for them. So they're like, okay, well, let's get this fucking wizard. And it's just insanity ensues. But it's a lot over this missing
That makes
prince.
more sense. See, I didn't even get from the movie like that it was over the missing prince.
I feel like there's a small, minute part I remember.
They mention it in the beginning.
Oh, maybe that's why I didn't put it together.
Yeah, it's goofy. But yeah, that's my favorite. Nostalgia, it's in there forever.
Yeah, that one's tied.
Kiki's a close second. Kiki's Delivery Service is my next.
So I guess that'll lead me into my favorite, which will not be as in depth as Shayna. Sorry. I don't have.
Well, it has a novel behind it.
Yeah.
But no, my top favorite is Kiki, and it's always going to be Kiki. I just love it. It's just, I think a lot of people don't rate it well because, you know, they say, oh, there's really no plot or anything. It's just like one of those feel-good movies. And I think that's what I like about it. It's just a girl finding her way, trying to figure her shit out, you know, and there's no like super anxiety or anything, you know, that a lot of these movies bring. It's just a feel-good movie that you can connect with and kind of understand as far as like when you're a child or a kid and you're like trying to find yourself and, you know, you go through a lot of shit with it. And that was, Kiki was actually the first Ghibli movie that I ever saw. So that just really stuck with me. And I really bonded with her and with that, and with everything going on. And I think also, which the thing I like about it is, as you know, I love the Atelier games. And there's just a lot of parallels to that movie and the Atelier games that I really like. And I think that's just why I've continued to like that as my
They're bringing
my
back
number
Big
one.
Thigh McGee in your
Yes,
next to tell your game.
Big Thigh McGee, which
You
is
know
so
why.
weird because she's underage. Sorry, people, that's another discussion.
It's because everybody bought Big Thigh McGee. And
Yes,
so they're
yes,
like, we'll do it again. But Kiki, I'm horrible. I don't really remember too much of Kiki. It was also the first one I watched, but I haven't seen it in forever.
It's worth a rewatch. It's such a good coming of age story.
It is. And like I said, I love that there's just not so much going on with it. It's just, I like that it's not plot heavy because it makes you happy.
Yep, I feel like the characters are all still really well developed, and I mean, you can relate to Kiki because she's not like this perfect heroine. She's like, I'm not great at flying, but I don't know what I want to do.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say it's such a good comparison between her being like this fantastical figure as a witch, but then having all these like super normal, very relatable young woman tropes, like being concerned that she's not pretty enough, being concerned that she feels like an outsider and she feels like she's being laughed at all the time. And
absolutely.
It's just,
I feel like Ghibli films like are really good at that in general, at least with like the female characters.
Yeah,
that's my general impression. Like they might be like super cool sometimes. Like I mean, I automatically think of like Princess Mononoke or whatever. Like she's probably like the most badass one, but other than that, I think a lot of the female characters have like a lot of issues that are relatable.
Well, it feels like you have like kind of these two families of Ghibli movies. You have like the super fantastical like Princess Mononoke or like Nausicaa, where they're like a lot more high fantasy and, you know, more characterized women. And then you have like these coming of age, smaller, more contained stories like Kiki, Totoro, Ponyo to some degree, Spirited Away, where they're all like totally kids movies, like for kids, like way more for kids than Disney. Like
Spirited Away, like is like her character like evolves so much. But that's my other tie. We'll go into it later.
Yep, that's my number 2.
Yeah, that's my tie for first.
I feel robbed that I didn't have these as kids because I love Disney. I'm not knocking Disney, but these movies appeal to they appeal so much better to kids in that it's not like a princess whose waist is as big as her eyeball and falling in love with the prince. It's like it's a much more unique and relatable and genuine story.
It's a different kind of magic for sure.
Some of them are a little scary for like small kids. I mean, Ponyo I think is probably the most like child appropriate. Otherwise, I think you maybe like older kids, obviously. Spirited Away, even
Grave of Fireflies is totally kid friendly.
Oh yeah, no.
No, thank you.
We do not speak of it.
We do not speak its name.
I wasn't even gonna bring that one up.
I purposely never watched it for so long, and then my friend and I at work started talking about Ghibli movies, and she's like, but you could just say you have to watch it. I'm like, no, I don't want to, because I know how it's going to make me feel. And so I did eventually watch it, and it's such an amazing movie, but oh my God. Like, I would love to put it as my top 2, but it makes me so depressed, and I cry. I can't put it up there because of how it makes me feel. There's just...
Well, that's what I was going to say. Before you keep going, you should probably say for anyone who's listening who's not familiar with Grave of the Fireflies, what it's about.
Oh, true. Yes. Okay. So from what I can remember, because I've only seen it once, and I was just sobbing in my bed. There's these 2 kids, they're war orphans. The movie is kind of about them and them dealing with the after effects of, they're in Hiroshima, right?
I'm not sure about the location.
But I know it's like the after effects of the war and the bomb being dropped, and just the starvation and everything that they had to deal with, and it's just horrible, the things that these children had to go through, and they end up dying.
Yeah.
They both die of starvation.
Spoilers.
I remember.
There's like also a true story when you go to the museum, like about a brother carrying his dead little brother on his back for like hundreds of miles.
Like I'm getting teary-eyed.
Bury him.
Just like thinking about it, like think about the movie, but it's just so powerful because it completely changes how you feel about us. Well, besides, we're not going to get into political crap, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? About World War
the
II.
other side.
But just watching that can completely change how you feel about like our role in World War II, and
I haven't been brave enough to watch it.
You really should. It's an amazing movie, and
it'll make you ill.
It would be up there if it didn't depress me so much. Like I now have to scrub it out of my brain because I'm just thinking about when they die or when that little kid dies, and it's just
it will make you ill.
And the little candy box, the little oh, you guys, I can't even go on. I'm sorry. You guys, whoever hasn't watched it, you need to watch it because it's an amazing film. But buy a bottle of wine. I don't know, take a bubble bath afterwards.
I don't even know if there's anywhere you can actually watch it, like stream
I don't
it.
know.
It's streaming somewhere.
Wait, is it on HBO Max with all the other ones?
I don't think it is.
That one
Oh.
was part of like a different license.
Yeah, that one was
okay.
special.
Okay. I mean, I have it. If anyone wants, like I said, I've seen it once.
I'm good. I did my duty. I watched
Let's all
it
cry
once.
together.
I watched it once. I went to the damn museum and bawled my eyes out for 24
yeah.
hours. I don't need to do it.
It's on
This
Hulu.
was supposed to be a beautiful and fun episode, you guys. What are you doing? How dare you?
It's such an important movie. But
And now we're crying.
Anyways, yes, I've depressed everybody. Wait, can I say one thing?
No, I'm revoking your license.
No, I promise. So does anyone remember like Gigi and the end of what happened with Gigi?
Oh, where you can't talk anymore.
Yeah, did that make you sad? Because I know it's supposed to be happy, like he found his like mate and they had kitties, but that made me so sad.
It did make me sad.
Okay.
It felt like a piece was lost. You know?
Yes, because it was like supposed to be a happy ending, and that was a little sad part.
I heard that a lot of people writing online about that symbolizing her growing up and not needing him anymore,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
which is
That makes
kind of
sense.
bittersweet.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, you grow up and you still need your friends. I don't know.
I need my cat
Yes.
to talk to me.
Yes. Anyways, yes, please go on. Ignore me and my depression.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny, for bringing down the party.
For my favorite, I was really trying to decide whether Kiki was a contender, Howl was a contender, Spirit Away was a contender, and it was a really hard decision. And then I went back and watched Totoro because it was the first Ghibli movie I'd ever seen ages ago, and I couldn't really remember it. And I changed my answer to Totoro.
Mm-hmm.
It was there's lots of fine details about that movie that I had forgotten. Just like being an older sibling and what it's like to have a younger sibling that you're kind of trying to watch out for, and having a sick parent who is away as a child, and how that's a struggle. I can relate to that. And just the God, that movie is just so gorgeous in all its small, quiet detail. I had totally forgotten, and how well it captures like the imagination of being a kid, since Totoro and Cat Bus and all that, it's all sort of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Is it really happening or not? And that movie is just an absolute delight.
And honestly, the thing I love about Totoro that I just can never get out of my mind is the scenery. Like, it's so beautifully drawn, and it's like when you're watching it, you're there. You want to be in that house. You can smell it. It's like you can almost smell what the air would smell like. You could feel the breeze. Like, it's so beautiful, and I just love that about it.
Yeah, I feel that in almost all Ghibli films. They're very immersive. Like, the characters, just the way they move, the way they walk, the way they run. It's just, like, I feel like way better than almost any other animation I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't watched these until a lot later in life, and people raved about their quality, but I mean, I am mind blown every time I watch one. It's just like the watercolor like animation and the music.
Even when you watch them, like the old ones, like if you watch them, even though they're so like older now, they still look absolutely gorgeous. Like they've aged so well because of the quality.
Yep. Like I said, Totoro was like one of the first ones.
Yeah, right? I don't remember.
And it's still, I mean, it's old. And for the scenery still to be just, for the scenery still to just be.
I was just watching Castle in the Sky, and that movie is way older than me. And it's still good.
Castle in the Sky, I think, was one of the first ones. That
was the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. Castle in the Sky was 83. And Nausicaa was 85.
Wow. No, but what's that one about the dragon? Between sea, whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
That one's hella old.
On Earthsea.
Earthsea, isn't that one the oldest one?
Yes, I have that one. I remember watching. Okay, I'm sorry, Ghibli, but yes, I remember getting it because I wanted all the movies, and I watched it. I was like,
Tales of Earthsea, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was. Okay. It's
I couldn't even finish
all
it.
Be gold stars.
No.
Tales of Earthsea was 2006. That was
Really?
That was Goro Miyazaki's first movie, which Hayao Miyazaki went to and walked out.
It was bad.
Oh my god!
Literally, he went to the premiere of his son's movie and walked out.
Thank God, because now I don't feel bad about not liking it.
That's like the one thing about Hayao Miyazaki. I'm like, I don't know. Like, everyone said it was a bad movie, but still to like walk out on the premiere of your
That's
son's
pretty
first
rude,
movie
yeah.
in the middle of the movie is
That's pretty rude.
Oh, okay. Totoro is 1988. All right.
Holy
Say that.
shit.
Right after I was born.
That does
Or
not look like,
87.
yeah, that was before I was
Old
born.
lady. Yeah.
That was before I was born. Sarah too.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause you guys are so young.
We're
We're
5.
babies.
We're 5 years old. I don't know why we're on a podcast.
Yeah.
Where's
Go
my
to
mom?
bed.
Go to bed. It's past our bedtime. Okay, I'm horrible though. Like, I love Totoro, but like, it wasn't my fave ever. But I get why it speaks to you. Sarah. It makes sense
bitch.
knowing you. I know, I'm the worst.
First of all,
I think I've also only watched it twice, so maybe if I watched it again, I'd change my mind. But
All right, tell me your favorites, Samantha.
I landed on Spirited Away.
That's
If I'm not simping for Hal.
Spirited Away was going to be my top until I picked
Spirited
Totoro.
Away, I think it was just like a certain time in my life also. I was just, enveloped in that whole whimsical world. But like, I just really was sad at the whole like kind of love story at the end where he was the river and he saved her, but then he's just like goes back to being a river, like bye.
My first boyfriend was a river.
Yeah. And then you're like sad. You're like, is she
That's
ever
rough,
gonna
buddy.
my girlfriend turned into the moon.
I know. I was depressed.
I have a question about Spirited Away.
Okay, I won't remember.
Okay, so the very end, like they come out and like their car's dusty. Like, oh, let's go move in. What happens? Like,
Right?
do they
Yeah.
get to this town and they're like,
How
where
much
the fuck
time
have you
elapsed?
been? Yeah, and then
It
they're
seems
like,
like a while.
yeah,
because she's
and, like,
living
who
there.
just like comes out and is just like, oh, our car's all dusty on the inside. That for some reason just ruined everything for me because I wanted to know because I need to know everything. Like, what happens? Like, there's more to tell the story now. Like, people think they're crazy. Do they think they died? Like, I need to know.
Yeah,
these
like
things.
how do the parents? Okay, so but the parents are greedy as hell, right? Like that's why they turn to pigs.
Yeah.
So it's like you just walk in, you're like, hello, let me eat your food and like whatever, like, and the dad's a dumbass, right? He's like, oh, maybe this place is still open. Like, let me just go in. It's not truly haunted as shit.
Yeah, it's,
Like, no
it's a
one's
good movie,
here.
but there's a lot of things that I'm just like, heh, like that I just don't.
It definitely wins like best ending theme song. Like,
Well, speaking of which is really funny, Dean
The
right
best
now,
one.
who is my child, people.
what?
He's
You
6
have a
months
child?
old. Yes, he's 6 months old, and he needs songs to go to bed. And right now, he's addicted to the Spirited Away soundtrack. The only thing that'll make him go to bed. It's so
Such good
so
taste.
good. Oh yeah, but the music. I will say Spirited Away has the best music.
It does.
by
It does.
far. Yeah.
That was also why it's
Yes.
one of my top picks. You guys know me and like soundtracks, so that's like top of the list. I don't know. Also, just like the settings are always immersive, but that one was like especially for me like super well, just
Especially
like
in the train tracks.
illustrated. Yeah.
When she gets on the train, I don't know. That just was so.
No Face creepy as shit. Like terrifying. Right?
It was
like
very Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, this is a movie that's like a children's movie, but I don't think it's like a children's movie because I think they would be scared shitless.
If I was a small child and I watched that, I would have been terrified.
Because like your parents turn into pigs, they're like demons now. Like here you go
You're on
be
your
a
own.
slave.
They're gonna get eaten if you don't figure your shit out.
Yeah,
Gentle itch.
but she really evolves from being a brat to like being a brave little girl that is in love with a river.
No.
We've all been there.
It also has really good English
That's
voice
universal.
acting, which I don't always love. But that's back when Disney like started picking up their films.
Yeah, I think Disney kind of got it on lock. I feel like I don't need to watch a Ghibli film
anymore. Yeah, I think
mhm.
Spirited Away was that like the first one that Disney like really took over.
Oh, no.
No, I don't remember what it was.
I mean, Disney redubbed all of the movies starting in
redubbed, yeah.
96.
Yeah.
Okay.
1996. They did
1996.
Kiki, because I think it was Kirsten Dunst or something.
Yes, Kirsten Dunst
Yeah,
is Kiki.
Yeah.
So did they do that in '96, or like did they retroactively like go back?
96 is when Disney started to like get the rights to the movies, so they got it from, I don't remember what the original company was.
Miramax, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Miramax.
I know that like Chihiro was like the Lilo and Stitch girl, and then like Sen was Meg from Hercules. So like I remember I recognized a lot of voices in that film.
Yeah, they always have like a star-studded cast. Gillian Anderson was Moro, and was she Moro in Princess Mononoke, or was she Lady Eboshi? They're all.
I always watch that one in Japanese.
No, Christian Bale as Howl. I really like that.
Yeah, that was a mind blow for me.
Yeah.
Like, really?
So good. Talk to me, Howl.
Simp.
Yeah.
I just watched Nausicaa, and Patrick Stewart was the old man, and he was like, that was like, oh, this luscious British voice. Who is this?
Damn.
So I do have one other thing to say about Spirited Away.
Okay.
Chihiro gets on my everlast fucking nerve.
Oh, she's a brat.
I can't stand the whining.
But she's like a real life kid.
She is. She's like, why is this happening, you guys?
It's accurate.
I know, but I don't like that.
Well,
no, I mean, we don't like real life children.
Jenny hates children.
But I think that's why, like, there's so many things I like about the movie. It's just so amazing, but her as a character was really hard for me to really enjoy. I love all the other characters, but her as a main character was just hard
I think
for
she
me.
evolved.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. You have to make her that normal, bratty, super childish, clinging to her parents.
She's moving. Like, I can relate to that because we moved so many times when I was a kid.
It was
like,
hard
I get
for
so
me.
pissed.
And you're not logical when you're a kid. You're just angry.
No, it's like, you know, I had that military family. You pick up, you move. You're like, great. Now I have no friends. Why the hell are we moving? I hate you. You guys suck. Like, what is going on? You know, so you whine and you're pissed off.
Yeah.
That's actually, I felt that way to the point where I had to sit down and try to watch Spirited Away 3 times before I actually finished it.
Okay, I feel better. I'm not the only one.
No, like I couldn't.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
I was like, I'm not into this, but like now it's my number 2.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
I love it. Every time I watch it, I like it more. Like I see more things that are like, wow, that's fantastic.
It's the contrast for her growth. It makes it all the more impactful.
For me, I take her out of it, and it's still an amazing film.
Jesus, Jenny.
Wow.
She worked so hard, and she was so brave.
No,
so
she
brave.
did. She did, but I would still love the movie. Because it's just so...
I would have saw that boiler man and been like, fuck this, I'm out.
There's a cockroach man.
I loved him so much. There's something wrong with me, guys.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, you hate the child, but you love the cockroach.
The cockroach man.
Yes.
Yeah, you're disowned.
God, Jennifer.
So she wants to talk about death, cockroaches,
serial killer.
Anybody else have?
Jessica, what is your favorite?
What's your number 1?
Princess Mononoke. I mean, it like I watched it on like repeat on VHS when I was like 11, like over and over and over, and I loved it. And actually, my husband Jacob, you all know him. He rewatched it last week, and he's like, Jessica, you can't put this as your favorite. It's not good.
Oh my god!
Did you stab him?
I loved it.
He's insane.
He was like, it doesn't hold up. So I had to rewatch it, and I was like, no, I still loved it. He's like, there's no character development. You don't feel the same way you feel for the characters in other Ghibli films. But like, I think for me, Princess Mononoke was my favorite because I am a closet furry. And like, if it's got animals in it, I want to watch it. That's it. I'm like, yes, wolves.
Princess Mononoke was like my second, since I had like a tie for first. But I get it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I loved it.
I know it's like, saving the earth, like whatever, but
that's like just a recurring theme in Ghibli films.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have always loved it, and I feel like it held up fine.
The main dude though was just like,
he was boring.
He was like, I want to bang her, so this is why I'm gonna, this is why male main characters suck so much. Like, he's like, I just want to give her the D, so I will do whatever.
Wait, you talking about the prince?
Yeah, I don't feel like Ashitaka was that way so much, because I mean, I feel like he was a good bridge between the people of the forest, or the animals, and Mononoke of the forest, and then the people of Irontown. I didn't love him, but like he was trying to, play both sides. And
I'm just not convinced because he just sees her and he's like, yeah, you're beautiful, so I'll just do whatever.
Yeah, that's true. He did say that.
Like immediately. Dear God gave me his blessing.
That Dear God thing was terrifying, though.
It was.
I did not like that.
It's the man face.
This is why these aren't kids' films, like, per se. Like, they're older kids' films.
I feel like Princess Mononoke is just an adult film. It's PG-13.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood in it.
I remember when I first watched it, I'm going into it thinking like it's, like Ghibli films, and I'm like, dear Jesus.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke was the second one I ever saw, so.
I saw that one in theaters.
Oh.
They brought it back to theaters for some special events. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not that legit.
Oh, I was gonna say like
no. But yeah, that was a weird one. A lot of great characters in that one.
Yeah, that was good too. That was a fave.
That guy with the tall shoes.
I don't remember the tall shoe man.
Me neither. I was like,
just the guy that wanted to get the forest spirit's head.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A little, like, short.
It's hard because there's so many movies and there's only so many we could watch in a given time. So a lot of these, like, especially like Princess Mononoke, I haven't seen in a very long time. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to,
you should watch that one again, though. That one's worth it.
I'm going to.
Yeah, you gotta tell me if it holds up.
Like, my plan is to rewatch all of these.
See if it holds up. Fist Fight Jacob.
I watched Princess Mononoke last year, and it's still good, so he's fine.
I watched it like a couple days ago, and I was like, nope, I still love everything.
Well, like I said, it's like one of those things that it's not one of those super feel-good ones, and usually I switch to Ghibli when I'm sad and depressed and need to just...
So you turn on Grave of Fireflies.
I turn on Grave of Fireflies.
Jenny's picked me up. It's fun.
Yes.
It's fine.
It makes her feel really good about America's position in World War II.
Oh, geez.
Then she turns on Spirited Away and makes hard eyes for the cockroachman.
Anyways, I mean, I'm sorry, can I add one more thing here?
Yes, absolutely.
No.
The only one I ever watched in theaters, what was that, like, one about the girl that's, like, this tall?
Oh,
Ariadne.
The Borrowers. I saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay, that one wasn't good.
No, I don't really remember it at all.
I took Brian, who is my husband, people.
You're like, I swear these are good. And he was like, what the fuck?
I think I had more enjoyment looking over to him just trying to, like, sit through this movie, and I could just read his mind going, what?
He's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
What did she do? Why?
It was not good. I don't even remember shit except that she was tiny and it was boring.
It was just my whole mind was like, oh, this is the Borrowers.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch it just by myself to see, like,
it's not good.
Really wasn't that great, but
I will say, making somebody who's not familiar with any sort of, like, Japanese culture or, like, anime or anything watch something like Totoro. I had my boyfriend watch Totoro with me, and he's like, what kind of drugs? When I was like, oh, here comes the bus, and he's like, what? Okay. And then the cat bus pulled up. He's like, I don't understand.
These kids are fucking tripping. Like,
I think the best thing ever is, like, when you're a super nerd and you marry someone or date someone who isn't a super nerd, just turning them onto your culture is one of the best things.
It's so joyful.
Their little face.
Enjoy their reactions of, like, what the fuck.
We all know I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I am the one traumatized in my relationship. Constantly.
On that note, we will wrap up our inaugural episode. Thanks for...
I loved every moment.
Every second.
Thanks for putting up with us if you made it this far. Our intro music was provided by the Mysterious Noodle. You can find their band on Instagram at Arcade Mode MKE or on Facebook as Arcade Mode Band. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as ChaoticNerdtral. Follow us on any of those for updates on upcoming episodes, and we'll see you hopefully in a couple weeks. Bye!